Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to explain money and banking. So, in this chapter, first of all, let us understand what is money. So, money may be anything chosen by common consent as a medium of exchange. So, money is the medium of exchange. Now, what is medium of exchange? So, whenever we purchase something, we settle the transaction with the help of money. So, at present circumstance, when money is there everywhere, so after any transactions, we settle the transaction with money. Mostly paper currency is used everywhere. Small transactions we can settle with the help of coins also. So money the evolution of money or the paper currency has made our life much easier. Wherever we go, whatever we do, if we go to the restaurant, if we go to any mall to do any shopping or anywhere, okay, we settle all the transactions with money. So the present system because of this is known as monetary economics. Monetary economics, where money is used as the medium of transactions. There was a time when this type of paper currencies were not there. So at that time, people had a very simple lifestyle. In olden times, life of the people was not as complex as it is today. People had the limited wants. They didn't have that much of requirements. So they did not have to do much of the transactions. Their wants were, uh, minimum. But at the present world, we have a very complex life. So we have money, and as the human life become more complexer, so the more useful method of transaction has been evolved. So it is a big story, the evolution of money. First, like 2000 years before, when there was no paper currency, so at that point of time people exchanged different things, different commodities, animals as a medium of exchange. Whenever they were purchasing something, there were some common commodities. So those commodities were used as a medium of exchange. Even there was a time much before 2000 year, or even 1000 years before, there was no such kind of money. So that system was known as barter system, when goods were exchanged for goods. Goods were exchanged for goods. So that system was known as barter system. So in the barter system, goods were exchanged for goods. So that was not so easy process. That was not an easy system. People had to face a lot of difficulties. First of all, it was very difficult to store the physical commodities. If you have money, you can keep it in your pocket, but physical commodities you can't keep in your pocket. For that, you require a large warehouse and everything you need to store. So that is a big difficulty. So because of that, people started thinking. People started thinking. So there were several other difficulties of the barter system. As for example, the most important one is the lack of double coincidence. Now what is double coincidence? Let us explain what is double coincidence. Now coincidence, so in a barter system, so a person wanted to buy something, should find somebody what he wanted to exchange. So first, one coincidence is that what he wants to buy. As for example, a person wants to buy a goat, and he has grains. He want to buy goat and he has grains. So first of all, he must have to find out a person who is ready to accept his goat. Okay, so that is one coincidence. And the second coincidence, what was the second coincidence? That person should have grain, so that he could exchange the goat with the grain. So that was a very difficult thing, matching the double coincidence, finding out the coincidence to such different coincidence. So a person, what a person wants to buy, that should exactly match with what a person wants to sell. If a person wants to sell goat and he wants grain, so he should find out a person who wants to buy goat in exchange of grain. So that was very difficult in a marketplace, so to find out this kind of double coincidence was a very difficult. Matching the requirement of two people, what they wanted to buy or sell, was very much difficult in the barter system. So because of that, people in course of time, they choose some common commodities or some animals as a medium of exchange. Also, one more thing I want to tell you, in the barter system, it was very difficult to measure the value of commodities. Okay, now for how much grain, okay, one should give one goat. So it was very difficult to measure. Now suppose I have a goat. Now for one goat, how much grain I should demand from the other person? So it was very difficult to understand. Now we have money, because of that we don't face this type of difficulties or the problems, because if money is there, the value of each and every commodity is fixed. Okay, value of each and every commodity is fixed, and for each and every commodity there is a certain price, and that fixes the value of a certain commodity. Okay, that measures the value of a commodity. If I want to buy a shirt, so by seeing the price of that shirt, I'll come to know what is the value of that shirt. But in olden time it was not like that. I had a pair of shoe, and I wanted to exchange that pair of shoe in with grain, with a goat. So it was exactly very difficult for the people to find out for how much grain, how much other things, vegetables, they should exchange. It was very difficult, and often there was a conflict because of that, as there was no money, as there was no price of a particular product. And also there are a few things, as for example animals. Okay, so division of animals. Now somebody wants a small thing, he wants some vegetable, but he doesn't have any such commodity, any such thing with which he can exchange and he get the vegetables. Okay, suppose a person is having one goat. Now he cannot exchange that goat for a small thing, say for example um, one shirt or one cloth. And division of certain commodities meant it's destroy. One could not divide. There are many things, physical commodities, if we divide them, if we cut them into pieces, there is no value of it. So that was also a problem of barter system. So because of this difficulties or the problem of barter system, slowly people started thinking on that, and in that process money came into existence. The present paper currency came into existence. You might have seen gold coins, silver coins of olden times that were used by different kings. Okay, so that was a time, you know there was a time when people used gold coins or silver coins. Precious metals were used for making coins. So slowly people realized that the precious metals, should not be used, because the value of those metals are so high. The intrinsic value, the internal value of the metal for uh, 10 rupees coin, suppose, okay, they required gold, you know more than the 10 rupee amount. Okay, more than the value of coin, they required gold. More than the value of coin, they required the other valuable uh, metals like gold, silver. So in a gradual process, you will see that after gold, that gold standard, when gold coins were used, gold coins were in circulation. So when people realized that the value of gold is more, it is very precious and also not available widely. So slowly, you know, comparatively less precious metals were used. After gold, silver came. So silver coins, silver coins are used. People started making coins with silver. Then it was realized that even silver is also precious, and its intrinsic value is much more than the value of money. So slowly, bronze. Then after that, people realize that even bronze is also a little precious. So semi precious, like that, semi precious. And then cheap metals are used for making coins. Nowadays, the coins which are available in the market, you will see they're cheap coins. They're cheap metals. They're made with, cheap metals. They're not copper coins, or copper is uh, copper coins were also used, say about 100 or 200 years before. Copper coins were there, but nowadays cheap coins are used. Okay, and the use of coin has come down actually. Now we are no longer using coins, paper currency, which is cheap. The manufacturing cost of those paper currency is less than the intrinsic value of currency. Because of that, paper currency is widely accepted, and nowadays we have to do a lot of transactions. Our life has become very complex. So because of that, as our life is growing, more complex. Okay, so even nowadays we are not even using paper currency. Plastic money has come into existence. Plastic money, credit card, debit card, and nowadays even that is also not used. We are using, uh, phone pays, paytm, all these things, virtual payment. Even plastic money is also not required. So this is a gradual process through which we have got the present currency or the money. So it is a big story of the evolution of money. So that's it. In my next video, I'll explain you the function of money. Thank you. If you like the video, uh, you can give one like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.